to make some lights work properly. I think in the other little video that you saw yesterday, if you noticed it, Jacob was looking for some reed switches. So I'm going to grab another one of these and show you what we're doing, but we're modifying the ones that we bought. What we got on the boat right now is we made all those stainless steel glass doors. We had like a little push button deal which shut the lights on and off. Worked on some of them, didn't work on other ones. Well, when we ended up having to make the doors thinner, made the logistics of where the push button was, made it in the wrong place. So these are the old switch buttons. What they've done is they've put the 2 screws up through there. When the door closed, it pushed this button in, shut the lights off. But as you can see, there's not much of a tolerance on there for that. So when we made our doors a little narrower, these switches didn't work because they were thinner and made out of honeycomb. And then you go back, you know, you do one thing and it causes another engineering problem. And like this switch doesn't even have the little cap on it. So I went over to ADI and bought these little things which are made to be mounted into like a door jamb. And this will actually, when the magnet disconnects, will actually open the circuit and allow the light to turn on. Well, because I'd already bought 10 of these clips from Hatfield, I actually realized that I could, if I turn the face of this off on the lathe, I can turn this back into a holder for the new ones that we got. So that works pretty neat. So what I'm doing is I'm just cutting the faces off right now. While I'm doing that, now we've gone from something that wasn't usable to something that is. We're just going to we'll sand these up and then we'll paint them black so they match up into the color. And then we'll show you how they work when we get them installed in the boat. Okay, so you can see we've installed the Moonraker doors, the stainless work that we showed you in the shop. Well, what I'm doing today is I'm installing the lighting switches. So I have one installed from yesterday. I'd like to show you how they work. As Jacob was showing on the other video, these are actually called reed switches. This little rare earth magnet here that we have actually is going to activate this reed switch and so the lights go off inside the cabinet. Now I have a little one that I haven't put the screw in, it's just held on with double-sided tape. But you can see as that closes, you can probably see it on the video to see the light just went off. And that's even before the door is closed. So we're rewiring this from the old system, which we had showed you what the blocks look like on the other video. And this is going to work much nicer. Nothing actually has to touch each other. So I got everything laid out almost like a little factory setting here, which makes it easier for me. These are the switches that you saw us turning on the lathe the other day. And then I sprayed them black so you can see how they came out. So I've done all my little pieces of heat shrink that I'm going to put on there. Slide them on. Now nothing can happen to that wire. It won't get touched or cut or anything. So I have to do that. And I've got all my little double-sided tape on all my holders ready to go. Got all my magnets here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to heat shrink all of these white ends, get that part of the job out of the way, kind of do it assembly line process. So when I go to the cabinets, we can put them together a little quicker. This is my last connection to make. I'm going to take some heat shrink, cut 2 pieces. It's going to be put on over where I'm going to solder my joint together. Just slide them down on each wire, like so. Just normal heat shrink type of deal. I'm going to strip the wire back because it has the reed switch on it. You know, it has to hang. So the easiest way I found to do this, get a good tight, as even as you can type of wrap on it, which even running that 22 gauge wire around there still makes the overall connection smaller than the outside coating on the main wire that we're connecting to. And just hold them like that. Put a little rag down here for make sure any of the hot solder doesn't fall on there. And you can see it burning off. I disconnected the fire alarm on this end of the boat. Just pull it out so I wouldn't be setting off any alarms. There was a little bit of, did it earlier on me, so I got smart. And you can see with that joint with the solder on it, still smaller than the outside coating of the other wire. And that's obviously a test for any joint. Stress test, pull on it a little bit, see if it can come apart, which it won't. So now we got a good solid connection. Now we can go ahead and slide the heat shrink up over, like so. And we got a nice cover. And start we'll just go ahead and go over the heat shrink, shrink it down. That part of that's good. And as you remember from the other day, this part's going to hold it up in. This will lock down into this. And that'll go back up there like so, once I push the wires back up in the hole. But before we do any of that, we just want to grab a magnet. Check your magnet with your connection to make sure it shuts off the lights. See? Little magnet, and it shuts the lights off. So once you have that done like so, now you can go ahead and mount your setting back up. So I'm going to go ahead and put that up in there now. And that's the way I did the other 9 of them. So once we're all done with this, I'll show you what the overall project works like. And we can go from there. I'll have one of the guys run the video for me. But as you can see, the magnet shuts it off. And I try to accurately mount it to the back door, but if you notice, it can be 1 inch away from the actual sensor and it shuts it off, which is good. And it can be about a ½ inch off either way. It'll still shut it off. So you do have a little bit of tolerance. Obviously you want to mount that to the door as close as possible, you know, when you're mounting it up here. But you do have a little bit of play with that. All right, so I'm finished up with the doors. It's Saturday night. Got everything wired. Kind of went over the, you know, as I was putting the switches in and everything, but double catched on all the doors. They all seem to work fine. The lights come on. So here's 6 of the doors on this side, and then the other 4 is finished over here. And everything is, whenever we got little videos, this is the final product. Doors opening up, the lights working, all the glassware on the inside. And that pretty much is it. Another project completed. The owner's coming in a couple days. You'll see everything completed. And I'm happy this job's done. It's been a while, but I hope you got an idea of what you can do, and you like the short video, and subscribe, and we'll talk to you later on. Thanks again.